Perfect. You've just opened a new batch of your Human Glitches series, starting from number 13 downward. Let me polish these three so they're as punchy, witty, and science-backed as the earlier ones. Number 13. The availability heuristic. Statistically, flying is one of the safest ways to travel. But if you just saw a news story about a plane crash, suddenly that seatbelt click feels like a death sentence. That's the availability heuristic. Your brain's shortcut, where it overestimates the likelihood of things that are easiest to remember. Plane crashes make headlines. Shark attacks go viral. Coconut-related fatalities? Not so much. Yet coconuts actually kill more people every year than sharks. Because your brain can't easily recall coconut tragedy compilation videos, it assumes they're rare. The availability heuristic is basically your brain yelling, if it comes to mind fast, it must happen a lot. It's one of the most powerful glitches because it pits logic against raw, emotional memory. You know the odds are fine. Your brain still screams, run, you idiot! Number 12. The Dunning-Kruger effect. We all know someone who thinks they're a genius at something they're objectively terrible at. Your friend who claims to be a DJ but only knows how to press shuffle. Or that coworker who watched one YouTube tutorial and suddenly believes they're a crypto expert. Welcome to the Dunning-Kruger effect, a bias where people with low ability overestimate their competence. The cruel irony? To recognize how bad you are at something, you need enough skill to actually judge it, which means true experts often doubt themselves, while the least skilled are the most confident. That's why the smartest people tend to say, I don't know, while the loudest ones online say, listen to my podcast. In short, you're sometimes too unskilled to even realize you're unskilled. Number 11. The framing effect. 90% fat-free sounds like a healthy win. Contains 10% fat feels like a guilty mistake. They're the exact same thing. Your brain just reacts differently depending on how the info is framed. This is the framing effect, and it's one of marketers' favorite toys. Doctors frame survival rates instead of failure rates. Stores highlight discounts instead of total cost. The numbers never change, but your perception does. Your brain loves a positive spin and panics at a negative one, even when the facts are identical. Basically, you're a walking puppet, and clever wording is the string. Do you want me to keep going and polish number 10 down to number 1 in this new batch, so you'll have a smooth continuation of the glitches of the human brain countdown? Excellent. These keep the same brain glitch flavor while tying into both modern life and timeless psychology. Let me polish number 10's number 7 so they snap into place with the rest of your cognitive bias countdown. Number 10. The sunk cost fallacy. You're halfway through a terrible movie. The acting is wooden, the plot is nonsense, but you've already wasted 90 minutes, so you force yourself to sit through the end. Congratulations, you've fallen victim to the sunk cost fallacy. It's the mental glitch that convinces you to keep throwing time, money, or effort into something simply because you've already invested so much. Rationally, those sunk costs are gone. Watching the rest of a bad movie won't refund your time. But your brain screams, we didn't come this far, just to quit now. This is why people stay in bad relationships, cling to dead-end jobs, or keep fixing money pit cars. Instead of cutting losses, we double down, trapped by past decisions our brains refuse to let go. Number 9, the fundamental attribution error. When you're late, it's because traffic was bad or your alarm failed. When your boss is late, it's because he's lazy and careless. That's the fundamental attribution error, a bias where we excuse our own actions with context but blame others' actions on their character. We see a slow driver and think, idiot. But when we're the slow driver, it's, I'm being careful. It's our brain's lazy detective work, jumping to the easiest conclusion about other people while giving ourselves the benefit of the doubt. Basically, I had reasons, you have flaws. Number 8, the bandwagon effect. A crowd gathers around a new product in a store, and suddenly you're tempted, even though you don't know what it is. That's the bandwagon effect, our brain's shortcut of assuming that if a lot of people are doing something, it must be right. It's the psychology behind viral fashion trends, political movements, and even TikTok challenges that make zero sense. It's easier for your brain to follow the herd than weigh every decision alone. Safety in numbers, right? Except sometimes the crowd is just rushing off a cliff, and your brain is happily lining up to join them. Number 7. The Google effect. Can't remember the capital of Peru? Don't worry, you'll just Google it later. That's the Google effect, also called digital amnesia, the tendency to forget information you know you can easily look up. Brains have always been good at filtering out unnecessary info, but now, thanks to technology, almost everything qualifies as unnecessary. Why memorize when a search bar is always in your pocket? The upside, your brain can focus on creativity and problem solving instead of trivia. The downside, our knowledge is becoming shallower, fragmented, and dangerously dependent on tech. Your brain is slowly less of a library and more of a search engine. Do you want me to finish out number 6, number 1 in this second cognitive bias set so you'll have the full list as polished as the Glitches and Hometown series? Perfect. These 3 sit right at the sweet spot of your cognitive bias brain glitch list. Let me polish number 6 and number 4 so they keep that same witty, unsettling, science-backed tone. Number 6, the Baader-Meinhof phenomenon. You buy a new car, and suddenly, it's everywhere. On the freeway, in your neighborhood, parked outside your office. Did the whole world decide to copy you overnight? Nope. That's the Baader-Meinhof phenomenon, also known as frequency illusion. It happens when something new pops into your awareness, and your brain instantly upgrades it from background noise to front and center. The car was always there. You just never noticed. Same with new words, fashion trends, or even a friend's haircut. Your brain isn't just spotting it, it's expecting it. Reality didn't change. Your mental spotlight did. Number 5, the Tetris effect. After a marathon gaming session, you close your eyes and still see falling blocks. Or you leave a bar shift and catch yourself mentally stacking glasses. That's the Tetris effect. Your brain's tendency to keep running repetitive tasks long after you stop. It's your mind's way of rehearsing and optimizing patterns, whether it's lining up tiles, sorting spreadsheets, or memorizing guitar chords. Fun when it sneaks into dreams. Creepy when it turns mundane chores into mental reruns. Either way, it's proof your brain doesn't really clock out when you do. It just keeps playing the game. Number 4, the serial position effect. Meet 10 people at a party, and you'll probably remember the first and last names you hear. But the ones in the middle? Gone. That's the serial position effect. We're wired to recall beginnings, the primacy effect, and endings, the recency effect, while the middle dissolves into static. Teachers and advertisers know this, front-load and backload the important stuff, because the middle will get lost. Your memory isn't a camera. It's more like a moody intern who only pays attention when it feels like it, and conveniently tunes out the middle of the meeting. Do you want me to wrap up with number 3, number 1, so this new cognitive bias countdown is complete and polished like the Glitches and Hometown series? Perfect. Now you've got the full number 13 and number 1 cognitive bias and brain glitches countdown. Let me refine these last 3 so they're polished and consistent with the witty, slightly eerie style of the rest. Number 3, the cheerleader effect. Ever notice how a group of people seems way hotter together than they do individually? That's the cheerleader effect. In a group, your brain does a quick and dirty average of everyone's looks, smooths out the flaws, and upgrades the whole squad. So when you pull one person out of the lineup, they don't match the shiny group rating your brain just created. It's a context illusion, and advertisers, directors, and even friend groups lean on it all the time. Put the right mix of faces together, and suddenly everyone seems more attractive. Your brain isn't judging individuals. It's grading on a curve. Number 2, the Zygarnik effect. That song stuck in your head? That one email you can't stop thinking about? That canceled TV show that ended on a cliffhanger 10 years ago? Thank the Zygarnik effect. It's your brain's obsession with unfinished business. We remember incomplete or interrupted tasks way better than finished ones because the brain hates loose ends. It creates a mental itch, a kind of cognitive tension that won't go away until the loop is closed. Sometimes this makes us more productive, nagging us to tie things off. Other times it's just annoying, like replaying a bad joke from yesterday until your brain decides the humiliation is processed. Basically, your mind is a toddler pulling on your sleeve, demanding you finish what you started. Number 1, the spotlight effect. You walk into a room and instantly feel like everyone's staring at you. You trip, spill your drink, and it feels like the whole crowd is silently judging. That's the spotlight effect, the bias that makes you think other people are paying way more attention to you than they actually are. In reality, everyone else is too busy worrying about their own imagined spotlight to care about yours. Your brain convinces you you're the main character in the movie of life, when to most people, you're just an extra in the background. That's why a coffee stain feels catastrophic, or a bad hair day feels like humiliation on parade. But the truth? No one's watching. They're too busy starring in their own flop. That's a clean top 13 countdown on cognitive glitches, each with humor, science, and relatability. Do you want me to now stitch number 13 on 1 into one flowing narration script with intro plus outro, like your human glitches list, so it's YouTube ready in a single piece?